comments and really what people want to hear is why we're here. Because again, I think that there are things that people have responded to.
Oh yeah, I started talking to the thing and I said, how do I address you? And what is the proper way to exit the conversation? And they were like, you're being too formal. Just say goodbye.
Yeah,
okay.
Usually I'm in pajamas and yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, come as you want.
We need help. Is it started? Because now
Oh, this is on.
Oh.
Okay.
We are live.
All right, well, we're going to scrap that because that was just...
The hyperboles.
Yeah.
No, let me get situated. I need ice. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So, Troy, are we doing this as the new show or are we doing this as the old show going into the new show?
Well, I had asked for us to talk because I was just curious what the podcast, like what was the intention of the podcast, right? And because you guys had started all of this before I got into the picture. And so, you were like, we're going to start doing this podcast. And I immediately perked up because that's all I'm listening to these days, especially driving down to Naples. I've got my podcast on. So I was excited for it. And I just wanted to ask you guys, where's this going? Like, what is the intention? And not that there needed to be one, but was there one, I guess?
At the beginning?
Just kind of what was the thought? And then I had even talked about the fact that I like the idea of the podcast because if you have it on the website, the AFG website, it helps when there's someone new that maybe is in this process of vetting us and they go to a website and they're just looking at, pictures on a page of people and saying, well, this guy kind of dresses like me, so maybe I'd work well with him. Right? You don't really have any warmth. You don't know the individual. And the podcast is nice. You can actually see the person talk, interact with other people, see if it's someone that you'd want to work with potentially. And I think there's a lot of warmth behind that delivery of us offering this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, so at the beginning, I guess to kind of go back, for those that don't know, this is Chelsea Davis. I'm been on a couple of the other shows. And now we're kind of transitioning. So as Chelsea mentioned, when we first came out with this channel, there were a couple different ideas. We wanted to have a show introducing our new reps that kind of gave their backstory, how they came to us, almost like a recruiting vehicle of, hey, like anybody from any walk of life can come into this business and have success. And that was really cool, but not really like duplicatable. We couldn't really build out characters. We couldn't, there are so many people that have multiple follow-ups based on how long we did kind of an update show with people working on their businesses. That was really cool. That's something that you and I did.
You're right.
That had a lot of traction. That probably better things. But then we did it with other people and it was like hit or miss just because they couldn't come back or there were different things that were hard for them to schedule. We did guest appearances. So we had a football player come on and that was great. So that's going to be kind of our other show.
Right.
But really just working through what works, what people are looking at, the amount of people that are watching on a weekly and monthly basis and all the analytics that Troy is diving into has said we're getting, Troy, I mean, kind of go through the numbers, 40, 50,000 views per month in various categories and the short form, the long form, the Instagram, YouTube. So really figuring out, okay, now we've got 60, 90 days of data, what's working best and what's making sense to run with. And I think part of it is like consistency. So to throw you in here is fairly easy. We can have a conversation about current events. We can talk about what's going on. Troy can produce and comment and have fun with us and not have it be like a fully produced show like our other show will.
Right.
So I think that's really where we're going with this concept is bringing insightful things from the world of tax, from the world of financial planning, from the world of kind of us growing our businesses and kind of living life to the forefront of the people that have been watching us for the last couple of months.
Yeah. I think I had a question for you and it was, are we taking feedback from, the people that are watching us? There's only so much I could think of from like a content standpoint or a topic standpoint, obviously, and current events is a good one because that can change daily. But if we're taking feedback from the people watching this video, I love that because then that, gives us what we got to talk about. This platform is not for us necessarily.
No, not at all. It's for us to kind of come in and talk and have fun. But comments and really what people want to hear is why we're here. Because again, I think that there are things that people have responded to and said, hey, I'm dealing with owning a small business, or I'm going through this, or I'm hiring employees, or I have to terminate somebody, or I have whatever XYZ situation is, yeah, send that to us, and we want to go through those topics. We've probably lived it in our personal lives. We've probably dealt with clients that have done one, if not all of the things that will be talked about. But it's very much for the viewers. We want there to be engagement with our firm. We want there to be engagement with us. We want this to be fun, and we want there to be kind of an ongoing dialogue of things that we can build off of.
In my rigid mindset, the way my brain works, I'm like, I need to know what I'm talking about and what the topic is. And I know we've talked a few times. You're like, let's just talk about your planning process or talk about what you do when you're working with clients. And I'm like, no, that's not specific enough, because we can do so much. And I've covered that in the videos or the couple podcasts I did. And I was talking to one of the reps, Brian Simon, the other day. And I mean, holistic planning is exactly that. We're looking at the big picture. We don't look at one thing. So when talking about topics for the podcast, I at first was a little nervous because I'm like, well, we could segue into 28 things. And then now the viewer's all confused because I'm all over the place. And so, yeah, I wanted to get, make sure I was like hitting specific content with like the different shows. Should we decide that I'm maybe trying to like lead something or come up with concepts for yours or whatever the case may be for the new shows?
Yeah. And I think that it's just more so along the lines of having conversation. I mean, the things that we mostly consume are things like this. Like, there are things that are going on in our head that we throw out there, but it's not a scripted show. Like, we're going to talk. There are going to be things that happen. There are going to be things that come up in the day that we're like, oh, we have to bring this up. Because I think that there is a lot of funny stuff that happens at our office that other people that are watching this are going to be like, oh, this is super relatable. Or like, even if they don't know like all of the people involved, just the dumb stuff that happens throughout the day, or the things that we encounter. Like, I think the other day we were talking about it. Just, we have a wide array of young advisors at the firm. And we get caught up in working with them. And I think you kind of shared with me just this conversation between one of our advisors and then another kind of young professional. And we were laughing because you just have two computers talking to each other. So there's like no content, and just...
So the gentleman whom I really respect and enjoy working with comes in and he says, hey, can you help do this follow-up email, because you were with me on the client meeting. So, just make sure I'm covering everything. I want to do a good job with my follow-up. So I'm like, yeah, I'll write it and you can kind of add things in, whatever. So I'm on my computer working. I'm kind of telling him what I think should be in the follow-up email and some bullet points to hit. And then I look over and I'm like, oh, hey, no, you didn't punctuate anything. You're missing a period. You should have capitalized this. And he goes, oh no, Chelsea, you just throw it in. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it fixes it for you. And then he says, you're writing your own emails? And I'm like, am I missing something here? I mean,
Chelsea, you're so 30. Like, it's crazy.
I'm 65 in my mind. So the fact that I even have a laptop and an iPad, I'm like well above where I thought I would be. So I have this gentleman and I'm like, you absolutely cannot put my email in because not only is it perfect, but there's no. So he gets the email out. He puts it through. I'm, of course, thoroughly impressed. The girl responds, or the client we were working with responds. Her email is.
Okay.
So I'm looking at our advisor. I'm looking at her email and I'm like, oh my God, you guys aren't even speaking to each other. It's just all these really, really pleasant, like nice formalities of exchanging, and there's no content.
Right.
And so I was mad. I was like, we're no longer sending emails. We're going to speak like as ourselves. This goes back to the warmth concept I'm thinking of, and like working with advisors today. Like, if we just throw everyone through, AI, where does that put us? Like, there's stuff we can still offer. And like, I mean, I definitely want to use for efficiency purposes, but as far as like replacing me, I hear that's a bad thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's supposed to be. I'm supposed to bring value.
No, I'm kidding. I wasn't talking about our industry. I was just more talking about you.
Thank you.
No,
I'm aware the computer is best, but I just really want to fight for my chance.
No, and there's cool stuff. Like, I think you were messing around with it and using it for like your house.
oh yeah, I started talking to the thing and I said, how do I address you? And what is the proper way to exit the conversation? And they were like, you're being too formal. It just say goodbye. And I'm like, but is it sir or ma'am? I'm like, and they're like, you can pick what you want me to be. And I'm like, that's so nice.
Right.
I mean, thank you. I mean, he's been lovely to speak to.
Oh, so it's a guy.
Yeah, I chose the gentleman.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But fun stuff. I think like you were like putting furniture and doing spatial design and things that like you would never ever think, or things that you needed a degree in like computer science to put together. And these like special programs to like do the floor layout of a living room. Now you could literally just tell a program and it's like, oh yeah, here's this piece from this furniture store. Here's this piece. Here's the size you need. Here's the space of the room. Here are all the colors.
I'm beyond impressed.
It's insane.
Yeah. And let's be real, from taking it back to the business standpoint, we need help. I mean, I absolutely need someone next to me helping me get through my day. It just makes it easier. And it gives me the patience to still continue to want to reach out to new clients.
Right.
If I'm in a bad headspace or if I feel overwhelmed, it shows. And I turn.
Does it?
It is not out of character for me to show on my face how I'm feeling in certain situations. I'm working on that. But being that it's taken this long to get over, I think we should all just accept it at this point.
But I think it's good. You talked about kind of wanting somebody to be in your corner and be with you as you grow through this.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a very different tone than probably the first time you did this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So like the growth is real from not just being part of the firm, but doing this and kind of living in what we do.
I want to give a shout out though, real quick. Sorry to cut you off. I do want to give a shout out to, I guess, AFG in general, for you guys have been a proponent of AI. You have really pushed it. Yeah. You are taking the time to go out of your day to find different systems, software programs for us to use to help our days get better, become more efficient. And it's all for the benefit of the client. I'm not talking stuff where like the computer is coming up with a plan for anybody. This is email follow-ups. This is summarization of client meetings for an email follow-up. This is the organization of the calendar. This is efficiency practices and procedures. And AFG, you guys at AFG have gone out of your way to get that product in front of us. And I really do appreciate that. And I want to do a little shout out because I wouldn't find that on my own. We already said I'm 65 in my head. Right. I just got an iPad. Like, I feel like I'm rocking and rolling.
That's a big deal.
The fact that you're pushing the AI stuff for me is huge. And not only are you like, hey, here's something, figure it out. You guys have set up like follow-up meetings. Yeah. We have reps coming in to walk us through how to use the product. Mm-hmm. We have our own login. I mean, really, really appreciative of that.
Thank you for joining us today. Through our shorts and through our full-length content, we try to put out the most relevant material for our viewers, for potential advisors, for people in the industry, or just anybody with financial interest in general. If anything resonated today that you want more information on, go ahead and click the link below me. Click on Talk to a Financial Professional, and one of our professional advisors will reach out to you and have a one-on-one conversation with your personal situation.
So over the last year, we really invested a lot into the AI space. So everything from the online role play, where our advisors are going on their phone, on the computer, and really working through all kinds of different dialogues that they can have with clients, all kinds of the software that we use, the rooms and the programs and the planning systems through that. We're using a program that's going to launch on Thursday that's going to transcribe all of our meetings and give kind of a reference point to where the meeting went, follow-up notes, put notes into our system and into the CRM.
So great.
And it's really cool.
Yep.
It's something that, again, at the beginning, because I get thrown into the fire, they're like, hey, Mike, like, go explore this. Like, you're the young guy, you know all about AI.
So hip.
And I yeah, right. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the AI guy. Yeah. So do all these meetings, beat my head against the table, go through everything, talk to all these people. Jerry and Michael come in and like whenever it's contract time and we'll all agree. But I have to kind of do all the stuff. And I'm like, I really don't have the bandwidth to be performing a lot of these meetings where it's just like learning about AI and maybe we implement it.
Yeah.
Then we launch it and it's awesome. And people are like, oh my God, this is the best thing in the world. And I'm like, yeah, but I had to see the nuts and bolts of how it was built. And now you guys get to see the nice, bright, shiny object that we get to play
Thanks
with.
for going to the field for us, Mike.
Yeah.
We really
so
appreciate
it's
you.
really fun, but there's an insane amount of like prep and things that go into it, but it's a lot of time and research. And like you said, it's a huge investment on the firm's part to say, okay, we're going to dive into this. And again, it's really easy because we get pitched by an insane amount of companies. And some of the stuff I'm like, okay, now I have a barometer of what's really cool and what's not really cool, or what is the functionality of certain things. So I get to see a lot of stuff and I'm like, this just isn't going to be easy for our advisors to use. Our clients aren't going to like the way that this looks in the meeting.
Right.
It's not going to show up the right way whenever our advisors go to pull the stuff off, or the lag time is too slow, or it's just not up to par yet. So we've really spent a lot of time and energy kind of perfecting that and finding the best tools for what works best for us and what works best for our advisors.
And I hate to say this out loud, but I always fight the new stuff. I get really comfortable with the way I do things. And you guys bring these really shiny, nice products my way, or not products, but maybe systems or softwares for me to use. And I always fight it. And the other day I just let my wall down, I guess, and did a couple AI things that you had offered, or the firm was offering. And I did the summary meeting notes and I just read through it and I was like, this is outstanding. And it organized everything for me by date and time that we had said things were going to be done. It broke down action items for me. It broke down action items for the client. It was literally, it knew how I would want to send my follow-up email. I was very, very pleased. So like I said, I can't be more appreciative that you guys were pushing these products and like you said, doing the recon on everything. Because I wouldn't look into this stuff on my own. I just wouldn't. And
I don't think many people.
We've talked about it too, small business owner, we wear tons of hats. Who wants to go look? Well, I mean, maybe it's part of it. We keep reading about how, people are getting replaced by AI. Clearly it's doing something out there. And I was just too boneheaded to look into it, but
it's hard. I mean, we have a firm with a lot of different people and things that can be delegated. If it was just me, or if it was just you, or if it was just Mike or just Jerry or whatever, there's no way that one of us could go and say, okay, we're going. It's come back, compile the information, and then we vote. So it makes it really fun and easy. And I think for our new advisors, it's a game, because whether you're in our business or in just any type of service business, it's expensive to have staff. And it's really, really hard to find good people.
Yeah.
And it's hard to retain people. So whenever you can have a lot of the work done from kind of a virtual assistant perspective get compiled, it's really valuable. It doesn't replace having somebody helping you from an administrative standpoint, but from the standpoint of compiling notes and taking meeting notes and sending follow-up emails, basic stuff. I mean, it's a huge, huge help for 80% of people that are in our business that just aren't at a point of having their own staff yet.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that too. I mean, and it takes your head out of the admin side of things, right? When you have the systems in place to help you stay efficient, stay on top of everything, you no longer need to worry or focus or spend a ton of time on the admin side of things. So now here you are, a new rep or an existing rep, and you can keep your head in the prospecting game. Because let's be real, especially for the new advisors, helping people feels really good. Having a win as a new advisor feels really good. You need to have little wins. You've got to get something in there to get your confidence built up, right? That's only going to come from prospecting and talking to the client and learning and getting better and offering help to people. But let's face it, I kind of lament about on a daily basis, when I'm all caught up on paperwork, I don't want to pick up the phone and talk to anyone new. I've got to service the last 5 people I've told I would get something done for. Right. So I think, having the efficiencies to keep your head on the straight and narrow of helping people, staying in front of the client and focusing on what's important. Yes, the paperwork needs to get done. Yes, you need to be an efficient business owner and have a system in place. I'm not discounting systems. The getting in front of the people is what's important.
Right. And I think too, it just gives a better level of client experience. Yeah. So I know when I first started in the business, even before we used the virtual meetings like we do now, we would sit in a meeting and it'd either be in person or on some kind of video call. And I would be taking notes. So half of my time was distracted, writing out all of the stuff. So the client's talking to me, I'm writing stuff down.
Can you repeat that, please, one more time?
Right.
Yeah. So now their flow's off. I just threw you off because I cut you off.
No, but but that was how it worked. So now, whether I jot down a couple notes here and there, I know everything is being recorded. The client can talk. We can just have a smooth dialogue. I'm not worried about what's being written or what I'm taking notes on. And I know at the end of the meeting, I'm going to get a very succinct email with everything that I need in it. And it just makes life so much easier from the flow of the conversation, probably cuts 10 to 15 minutes off of the client's time where they have to sit with us while we're kind of like regurgitating the stuff that they just said. And we know that we're going to get a really good product at the end. So it's definitely a beneficial thing, but it's just funny kind of going back to, again, not that we're like old. I mean, in your mind, we're like 100. So I must be like 80 if you're 65.
You're retiring soon, right?
Right. Yeah, I wish. Nobody would be able to vet the AI programs if I left.
Hang on for us, please.
Oh. So, but we're not far removed. I mean, I remember starting in this business like it was yesterday, and these brand new advisors are not that far. They're 10, 15 years behind when we started. But it's a different world.
I still love, though, when I send a Zoom meeting now, and I'll send it to maybe like someone in their 30s, and I don't think anything of it. I'm like, hey, we'll do a Zoom, we'll screen share, keep it easy, then you can book the meeting at, a lot more times. This person's available, they're at home. 34, 35-year-old picks up the phone. Hey, I can't get into this Zoom. It's not working. Hey, what do I do? How do I do this Zoom? And I'm like, really? I didn't see this coming. Like, I thought this would be okay. And then the next day I'll be like, hey, client who's 65, do you want to do Zoom and do a screen share? Or do you want to come in? And they're like, I can do Zoom. My daughter hooked me up with it and I'm ready to go. And I send them the Zoom and they're like waiting for me in the waiting room. I'm like, all right, I like it. Like, everyone's different. It's kind of fun. That's another way, honestly, to get to know your client again.
It is.
It's cool. It's another intro thing that I'm going to use to be like, hey, you were really good on that computer. You got to show me how to print something later. Basic.
So kind of going to the Zoom conversation. And I think I probably deal with this a lot more than you, because you're doing far more just client meetings where I'm doing interviews.
Okay.
I'm doing more of like stuff in the day-to-day with kind of the recruiting and the leadership side of the firm. But it's crazy to me. I will be on Zoom and there'll be people walking around in the background.
Oh.
There'll be like somebody in their dorm room and it'll be a mess. There'll be like dirty clothes piled on their bed in their dorm room. I've seen everything.
And are you wearing pajamas for the Zoom call, or were you expecting them?
Yeah,
okay.
Usually I'm in pajamas, and I'm just like, yeah, come as you want. No, it'll be like 3:00 on a Tuesday, and I'm like sitting in my office like this, and somebody will be like in a baseball cap and like a cutoff T-shirt, and I'm like, isn't this an interview?
Whoa.
And I'm like, this is kind of crazy. And again, it's
slowly shut the computer down.
And if it's a client, like whatever, that's fine.
No, yeah, that's fine.
So I'm not worried about that. But like, it's just a different world of these young graduates kind of coming out of school. And some of them are very polished. Some of them are wearing suits. And I'm like, wow, that's like kind of overkill, but kind of cool. But then other people are just like ultra casual. And again, there's people yelling in the background. I interviewed this guy the other day. I mean, he had to be probably in his 50s. And his like wife was like walking to like take a shower in the background.
Oh.
She had like a robe on.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, I think there's somebody back there. And he's like, get in there. They can see you.
Wait, what was this for?
This was for an interview for us.
To work as what role?
As an advisor. So it's like, again, not that you want to like hold stuff like that against somebody, but it's stuff that happens.
Wow, that's really, really interesting. I would be mortified.
It's we've seen a lot. So it's technology is an awesome thing. It enables us to do a lot. It enables us to do so much more faster. But people need to be very cautious with what they're doing, especially when things are on camera, when things are being recorded. And I think something that we need to reiterate to a lot of our younger advisors is like nothing is hidden anymore.
Right.
Like everything is out there. So you and I kind of grew up in a generation where like, I don't want to say it was kind of the last time that you could get away with stuff, but it probably is.
Close to the end.
Yeah, like we didn't grow up with cell phones. We didn't have all of this tracking on our phone.
Well, that was the thing when you were going out for a job interview, they'd always say, make sure you delete everything off your Facebook where you're drinking. Get that off because they're going to look on that.
Right.
I don't think MySpace was a thing or like a problematic platform, but
that was our time.
Yeah.
This was that era of things. And now it's just everybody lives on Instagram and everybody has all of this stuff and things don't go away. So if you post one thing and it catches fire and goes viral, I mean, it could stick with you for a very long time. So we're always hyper cautious and from a compliance standpoint, making sure that people aren't doing things that they shouldn't be doing because one bad thing could tarnish their entire career, or it could do something for the firm, or really. So we really try to push that being out on those platforms is really good, but be cautious with what you're posting, because it's great that you have opinions on certain things, but maybe not like pushing them out for every like hot button.
Amen. Yeah, no,
is the thing to do.
A career in financial services is about freedom and relationships, both for you and the clients you serve. By building intentional, authentic connections with people, we not only create an environment where advisors can succeed, but also puts you in control of your future. Financial success looks different to everyone, and it's more about the process than the numbers. If you are someone that is looking to make a difference in your life and the people closest to you, go to the website below and schedule a conversation today. Back to the podcast.
Bringing your personal opinions into the meeting space is just a no-no. I'm hoping that, I know people get really fired up about their opinions, especially the younger people, because everything is at their fingertips to access. Right. They can Google anything or, look it up online. So I'm hoping that climate kind of simmers down. But back to the thought of the younger kids even needing an advisor or wanting to find financial advice, everything can be found online, right? We can look up something and get the answer pretty quickly these days, whether it be like a tax question, a financial advising question, investing in real estate, investing in a type of product, whatever the case may be.
Pretty much anything other than like the play on words thing that we've been
I've been struggling with that one. Goodness gracious, because I don't know what to ask it. Anyway, it's user error. That's the point. But what I was going to say is what the internet isn't doing. Yes, it can take the question. It can give you an answer to this question. It can give you an answer to this question, and it can give you an answer to your third question. But does it tie the three questions together?
Right.
And does it give you a full, well-rounded picture on the best way to come at your situation, given the three examples you've provided to the internet? I think that's something, because, again, I'm going to hit on this. We can cover a lot as financial advisors. You were talking with someone earlier, and he said to you, what sets you apart? Your quick, 5-minute response or 5-second response was, this isn't the only thing I do. I own a couple different businesses. I own my own home. I have a family. I'm living my life. I'm involved in other areas, and I'm coming back and I'm tying it all together, right? There's a way that these things work together that is singular to each couple or each person that we sit in front of.
Yeah.
And that's something that we need to really push to these people and remind people of, because, you can find a lot online, but is it the best strategy for you in your situation?
Right. Is it customizable? I think that one of the best things about our firm is that most of us are involved in something, if not many other.
Yeah.
So we are real life people and business owners that happen to make this the focal point of our career. But we also believe in passive income. We believe in other forms of active income. And we live the world that we preach. And I think earlier today, whenever I was talking to Scott, he was talking about opening up his coffee shop and how he wouldn't be able to do it without the planning that he did for himself and his family 5 years ago, because interest rates skyrocketed.
Right.
So being able to use alternative methods of lending at a lower rate made it more affordable for him to do something like that. So there are just really, really good things that are out there that, again, I think the purpose of this show or this podcast is to get good information out there, have fun, make people laugh, get people thinking, importantly, and really just to kind of get involved in the conversation. Because one of the fun things for us is that we like to solve problems. So if people are online saying, hey, I want to hear about starting a business, what are the pitfalls of it? Or I want to hear about the perks of hiring my first employee or hiring my 10th employee, or what does this mean? Like, bring all of that to us, because those are things that we really want to help with. Things in the world of business, things in the world of finance. There isn't always like a black and white answer. I think one of the things that one of the clients was talking about today was like, should I invest in a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA? It's like, it depends on the situation. It depends on the year. It depends on how much money. I mean, there's a million different factors. We could spend an entire show talking about that and why it makes sense to do something. But ultimately, saving is kind of the overall strategy, and where the money goes is an efficiency factor.
Well, thank you for letting me come and pick your brain on the podcast and go over everything that we hope to talk about some point. So
yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. I think that we're going to have kind of a regular conversation. We're going to go through a lot of fun stuff. We're going to talk about things that we're dealing with that again, are very relatable to other people. But it was really fun to have you here again. I think that whenever people see us again, the room will look a little bit different. The show will have a new name. It's going to be more polished up. So Troy will have more involvement, who's kind of our, he's got a voice over there, but he's wearing the headphones and he's on the computer. So he'll be more interactive in times to come. He's just a little grouchy today because we didn't really make our time for him. So
anything to keep him messed
yeah,
up.
as long as he's happy, the show runs smooth. So we appreciate it. Please like and follow the page. Write any comments that you have or anything that you would like to see from us. And Chelsea, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So you're the pragmatic one and I'm the dramatic one? That's
Yeah, who would
better help.
I've tried them.
just off the cuff with
Yeah.
the random.
No, that's a real thing.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's an online therapy person.
3, 2, 1. This material is intended for general public use and is for informational use only. Mike and Chelsea are registered representatives, and Mike is a financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, EAS, OSJ, 14021, Metropolis Ave, Fort Myers, Florida, 33912-239-561-2900. Securities products and advisory services offered through PAS, member FINRA SIPC. Financial representatives of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, Guardian, New York, NY. EAS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Alliance Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of PAS or Guardian. Mike's CA insurance license 0M21715. AR insurance license 5838330. 833-8632.1 expires 9/27.